Alright, so initially we were supposed to do a hot shot job with that today, get you guys a video on that, but that did not happen. So today we're going to be replacing the mirrors on this guy, and we are also going to be doing the transmission lines from full send diesel. And those are the two things we're going to get done today. I do need to check out the front and rear pinion seals, so I got to do that. The rear pinion seal, that's coming Monday, and then he's got me a pinion coming for the front. We'll be doing the pinion, which actually it doesn't look like the front's leaking, but we'll check it out either way. But either way, we need to get these transmission lines out of here and delete the heat exchanger. So I'm gonna do it the same way that I did on mine. Basically just take the line out of the transmission and let it drain into a bucket. Take the bottom line, and then we'll start taking one line off at a time. He did opt. We're going to keep the heat exchanger in there because there's no coolant leaks right now. So we're going to leave that in there. If it ever has a coolant leak or whatever, then we'll end up deleting it. But for now, for simplicity's sake, we need to get all of anything to do with the transmission out. And probably just going to do this outside today because it's actually colder in the shop. He has the thing open because he was just doing a fuel pump. But it smells like gas in there. So we're just gonna probably do it outside. But this transmission does not have a thermostat, which is cool. So I will be able to save it and do the lines like that. That's the first one. See how sloppy that is. But come over here. It's super. I even cleaned it. Give her a nice wash. So now we get the door panel thrown back on. This is one of those mechanical ones, so you got that little oh shit clip that's not fun. One of these little snap-on picks will do it. Yeah, guys, I use snap-on tools occasionally. People used to complain about these little clips. I know I used to, but you see how it's a tapered edge there? You just throw the thing back in there. Put it where it was. You give it a little, there you go. It's not going anywhere. I used to fight with that so bad back in the day. Now, easy peasy. So, door panel's all back on. We have a good mirror. I'm gonna close this side up and adjust it. And then I gotta pull this thing forward to do that one. Unfortunately, his old glass, here's the backing. So, even though that's good glass, it is not the same. So, I'm gonna keep this. We're gonna get this installed a while. And then I have the new glass on order, so it was only like 40 bucks, something like that. So we're gonna get the new one on order, and then we can install a nice new piece of glass into something that is actually good, because these were just not. You can see, same with this one. Like, this mirror is all busted and shit, so like, even though this was solid, yeah, it's all busted. So we'll get that right. So we're gonna get everything pulled off, and I'm not sure how you're supposed to get the glasses out on these without breaking them. I mean, this one was fucked anyway. Like, that ball's just rattling around in there, but yeah, not fun. All right, second side is in, all mounted up, and now we're gonna have to just wait on the glass. Alright, for the guys complaining about my scanner usage, so we're having an issue. So fuel pressure, you can see right there. So I'm in drive, but you guys will also be able to see, okay, you can see 100% throttle pressure. I'm in drive. So boost. Right now we're seeing 23.9 PSI. Obviously there's a problem with that. Fuel pressure. So if I give it the beans, it's building about 17,000 PSI, 17.6. So fuel set, and it's meeting its desired. Unfortunately, we're having an issue with the truck having no power. So I will have more time to diagnose this tomorrow, but in the meantime we're going to get the trans lines swapped. But you guys will be able to see, like, it's giving it, I'm going to throw it in neutral here, and fuel pressure. You guys will see. There's 17,000. Not sure what the issue is, but we will get down to the bottom of it. The truck is running great. It thinks it's in reverse now. There we go. It's not fun. Buy a Cummins, they said. It'll be all right. We'll get it figured out. All right, so I got a nice new bucket. So we're gonna get the transmission lines drained into this nice clean bucket. Getting under here about ready to go over this, but it's not a good sign. It keeps popping itself out of 4-wheel. So there's 4-wheel, and you have to hold it. Also, that bolt's loose. Interesting. I gotta get that trans line right there. So, like I said, we're gonna do one at a time. Let it drain. Somebody tighten that gasket a little tight. Somebody hit that as well. This thing needs a ton of stuff. So it is a 19 and a 23. And there goes my 23. Into my nice clean bucket. So you guys will see there, you do have to double wrench it, because if you don't, the whole thing's gonna spin. So just keep that in mind. Get this thing drained. Absolutely nothing has come out. I'll bend this line because we're not gonna reuse it. Nothing is coming out of this line. Nothing. That's not a good sign. So I'm taking the front apart now, but yeah, I'm gonna show you the point. I put it in 4-wheel, like a very faint click in, and it'll just pop right out. I don't think 4 low was working at all, but yeah, we need to figure that issue out with why it's not giving any more throttle than like half. We did unplug the FCA, which it went up to 26,000 PSI. Everything's fine there. It's not making power. So I got this guy off here. You think they used enough clips. There's 4 there, and I dropped 1 back there, and then there's 1 still in it. Oh, no, yeah, there's another one. I gotta get this intercooler boot, a couple of these bolts, that intercooler boot, and then this whole intercooler's gotta come out so we can get to the transmission cooler. We are at the cooler. I don't know what cooler they got for this thing, but it's not a factory cooler that I believe. I mean, I definitely like this unit better than the other one because this one doesn't have a thermostat that I know of. So we're gonna get this thing pulled out, and we have to modify the ends for the FSD lines. All right, we got both of them out. You can see vaguely in there. So now we start pulling the rest of the lines out. We did get some out of there. Yeah, got a good bit out. I think it's the check ball. That's probably why that one didn't drain. My favorite part, coming over here, cutting the lines. Blade's a little dull, but you know, whatever. There we go, now she's cutting. Alright, so now that all that's done, I can come over here. Just take this, you're gonna be gentle with it. Then we'll try to drain all the rest of this out into there. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut right back behind here, and then this is gonna stay. So here's the part number for the fitting that goes into the trans. These right here. So we're gonna get these put in. And then this is the part number for the stock coolers. And these are the lines. So one's longer than the other, obviously. If I remember correctly, the 90 goes in the back, this one goes in the front. So they're gonna sit just like that. And then these will go into the factory cooler right here. So we just need to throw some Teflon tape on here. How many of you guys actually know what Teflon tape is? Let me know down in the comments. Is it a sealant or is it a lubricant? Let me know down in the comments. So we're gonna get these and then slap these in, and then we'll be able to screw in the new lines, get them tightened down, and then we'll pull them through, tighten them up. Like I said, I gotta make a cut on there, and we'll have to flush that cooler out as well. But if I can find it. I had a kit. Might be up here. Yeah, there it is. I'm gonna start bringing this with me. This is to clean all the edges and everything. So once we're done, we'll be able to do that. So here's the factory fitting. See all the crud and buildup on it and shit. And here's the AN fittings. So I'm still learning about these. I need to figure these out and like do my studying and whatnot and figure out what sizes and all this and that. I do want to start using these more. Apparently they're really good. So I got to figure these little things out because it's kind of cool. But there you go. So we're trying some new things with these. You guys can see one cable tie in the middle. I'm gonna add a couple more down the center because I got one there, one down at the trans, and then, you know, here. I'd like to add one there, one in the middle, and then we shouldn't have to worry about this end here, but we're trying to work on some of the cleanliness things. I was looking for them for the next clip, but I couldn't find them, but I do have, you guys remember the heater lines that were on the 12 valve? Well, I grabbed those little clamps, and I liked them. I might start working with them a little bit more as well, getting some of them on order. They're cheap, they're effective. I thought about doing it for my trans lines. For this application, this will work fine. I just need to find a way to protect it from the shock tower and the steering. But for what it is, it looks good. I like it. I definitely like that. Like I said, just want, you know, some in the middle and we'll call it good. Then we got to get this guy installed and then we can start taking the old trans lines out. All right, so here's where we're at. We got that one cut and trimmed, and then everything is good. We've sprayed her out with our brake clean. We'll get her screwed on there. If I could hold it steady, see, doing this with one hand is not very easy. Now we gotta cut the second one. So I'm gonna put a rag over the first one. I'm gonna pull this back off. So there is a nicer tool to be doing this, but for what we have, I'm using this to clean out the inside. Like I said, we're flushing out this entire thing. So everything's good. That doesn't look like a factory. I don't know. Something just looks off with this thing. But this is how I did mine. And we're just taking this on the inside, cleaning out all the little shards. Yes, they're all gonna go in there. Then we're gonna clean it out. We're gonna spray it out. Everything's gonna be fine. See the comments now having a friggin' heart attack. It's fine. Spraying her out, cleaning her out, making sure we get all the debris out. And that we're not going to have any issues. We need to clean the outsides as well. All right, so we are checking this thing over. We're about to put the trans on, and I didn't even notice. Holy shit. How is this thing not overheat? The whole way down on the bottom, too. I can't justify throwing this back together without cleaning that. That is just brutal. Look, there's a freaking feather in there. So I know we don't have water or high pressure, but we do have air, so enjoy this. Very satisfying. Definitely going to help with cooling. Yeah, this was clean. Now I got to sweep all this up. I know the camera's not going to do it justice, but like, you can see how clean a lot more of it came out. It's one of those, like, I had to get all the way down under here. It's one of those, I could have just slapped it back together, but I'm not going to do that. Like, at least now it's a lot better, but a good pressure washing would be nice. So now we're going to throw it back together. There you go. All our lines are in and grabbed. I'm going to put the intake tube back on. We'll get all this thrown back together. Trying to figure out what works for this here, because they do give you enough. They give you plenty of length. I just need to make sure that it avoids the steering shaft is all. We'll make a nice little bracket for it and the drive shaft. There you go. So now we got to get these lines out. I'd love to just cut them if possible. That would be great. Front end is back on with the courtesy cleaning of the radiator. I can't believe a shop put that trans cooler on and didn't notice that. But there's our nice new lines. And here's the old lines. So now we get to taking them out. That's going to be fun. Taking old trans lines out is just not in my list of things that are fun. Yeah, it doesn't matter how good a job I do. Someone in the comments gonna be screaming at me. But we got this guy back on. Got all the pieces, the little pieces that go back in there. I just drop all these wrenches real quick. Slam all that in there, nice and good. But it's a nice install. It's not bad. It's all going together well. Just gonna grab my wrench that I just slammed down in there. All right, you can see that guy right up there. That sucks. We're doing the first one, but we are getting it. Thing is still dripping. Yeah, I'm looking at an upward view, so we're just sitting here enjoying the rustiness of these lines. Yeah, honestly, even if you don't want to get rid of your heat exchanger, which I always recommend getting rid of it because it's garbage and will cost you a trans one day, these lines are just really, really nice. So we're going to find a way to mount these up here, and we're going to loom the kind of like along the fuel line right there. But if not for anything, I recommend getting rid of the heat exchanger just to get rid of these lines. Like, they're just so rusty, crusty, and kind of garbage. So we're almost there. Oh, yeah, yay. Leaky tranny fluid. I hate transmission fluid. Trannies suck. Alright, so here is all of the old transmission lines. I ended up cutting them. I was able to get in there with the angle grinder. So, I was able to cut that fitting. That fitting I took off. I cut one in here and then one down on the bottom. It just makes it so much easier. You're not having to fight stuff. So if you're good with an angle grinder, great. If not, whatever. I'm going to take that fitting out, so it's not just sitting in there ready to jab somebody. There you go. The gloves have come off, so we're done for the day. I'm gonna go ahead and sweep all this mess up. I got all of this mess, working on getting the transmission fluid up. But yeah, so I'm gonna sweep this up, and then we gotta do the front pinion and the rear pinion, and then take her for a test drive. And I'll let you guys know in the next video what is going on with that. Just so you guys don't think I'm lying, don't worry, I took it out. Why did I take it out? That shit, that would hurt. You stab somebody with that. All right, so since we're not 100% done with this truck, I know we're done for the night, but everything's in good, glorious, all the niceness, and you can see in there that nice line's taken out. So once that heat exchanger fails on the coolant side, we will go ahead and delete it. But for now, usually it fails on one or the other because of the two types of fluid going through it. So hopefully we don't have any issues with that heat exchanger, and it never needs to get taken off. But if this motor ever comes out, obviously it'll get deleted. Tomorrow we are going to do a little bit of diagnostics and figure all that out. Like I said, we have the big... Guys have been giving me shit for using my little scanner. Like, you guys act like it takes a $5,000 box to have to do everything, you know? We got this nice little guy right here. They sent me this a long time ago, and I very rarely had to use it now that we're in it. I mean, they sent it to me. I mean, I can see rail pressure from this thing. Like, I can't see a lot of the stuff the Snap-on boxes do, but I can see the important stuff with it. You know, the rail pressure and all that. So, I mean, I guess if you want, go check them out, but I don't have a link for them or whatnot. They sent, that was probably a year ago at this point. I can't even remember. If you guys want any fuel savings, go check out Mudflap, link in the description. If you guys need any work, let me know. I am booked up until Friday or Saturday at this point, so I've got good work for like the next week. We got a head gasket coming with the little red dually, transmission swap coming at some point. We have a truck we're going to pick up on Thursday. Pending nothing cancels, we're booked up till about Saturday. So trying to schedule the things that make sense, and things that don't make sense, obviously we try to avoid them. I explained it this way, right? So I do the engine diagnostic because that's what makes sense. We do mainly diesel stuff. So if somebody has an issue with anything that isn't drivetrain related, like we're specifically targeting drivetrain, engine, and transmission stuff. This needs a rear pinion seal. Obviously, if it was just a random customer, we would probably not take that job because it wouldn't make sense. It only takes an hour to do that. But you get the point. Because this came in for all this stuff, well, now that gets grandfathered in to we can do anything to it. So we did put injectors in this thing. Runs really, really good. Idles really, really good. It builds all the rail pressure at once, but I don't know if it's stuck in a limp mode or whatnot. Just I don't know. We're going to go through and figure it out, but when I unplug the FCA, it does shoot up to 26,000. So diagnostics here and there, we still have the map sensor code and we have a code over there. But the thing is, before the injectors, it still ran and drove. So what is going on? I guess we'll find out. And you guys saw in the last video that we did on this truck, everything is torqued to spec. Everything is new. All the old O-rings came off. All the old, not the O-rings, the copper washers, all that stuff. So it's just one of those, like, this is just one of those things. Diesels are very, very finicky, and you just got to deal with that. It doesn't matter what type of diesel you have. They're always finicky. So, like I said, if you need anything, steve@cpstevemiller.com. We will have the website up here very shortly, within the month. But appreciate you guys. See you in the next video. Later.